Be falling, but he bids me go through the voice of a woman talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy tarry there, none other has ever known, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever
gentleness. Butch was a big guy, but you just saw him laying down with a horse, laying down beside my mom. So if she got up, tried to get up, gentleness. Self-control. Now that's a tough one, because I played golf with Butch before. I don't think that self-control includes golf courses. But anyway, the last one is one that I had always looked over when I looked at the fruits of the Spirit. And it's called long-suffering. And Butch suffered. Butch suffered. And that's one of the fruits of the Spirit. And I think we can all celebrate that Butch is where he is today with the Lord, and we glory to God, because he has all of those fruits of the Spirit that he exemplified in this life.
And I remember Uncle Butch cooking for us lots and lots of times. He'd make baked potatoes and put anything you could desire into a baked potato. Baked beans. I learned to like broccoli because of Uncle Butch. Because he put it back with a lot of cheese in a baked potato. But as we would leave the house and drive home back to Virginia Beach, I know I made my parents miserable, because often we would cry or whine because, Thomas, Stephen, James, and Robert got to live near Grandma, and Uncle Butch and Aunt Susie and Mathew and Annette, and Brian, they got to live near Grandma. I wanted to live in Grandma's house. And Papa said, I wanted to live close there. Jesse and Jenny, they lived there. That was a party when we were there, It was a good time. I mean, there are some families that are dysfunctional. Trust me, I know we all have stuff in our lives that are not right, but dude, it was fun when we were together, It was a lot of fun. And I would leave and I'd tell Dad, when I get older, I'm going to buy a big, big house. I'm going to build a house, and I want everybody to come live there, because I want life to be like it is just like now. My dad's got a lot of wisdom. And he told me, he said, if that doesn't happen on earth, I want you to know there's a house that God's building. And so, Reverend Jeff, man, thank you for reading that text. He read out of John 14. I'm going to read it again for you guys. It says, let not your hearts be troubled. He says, believe in God. This is Jesus talking. All right? And he says, believe also in me. He says, in my Father's house, there are many rooms. If it weren't so, I would have told you. But he said, I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, Jesus said, I will come again and take you to myself, that where I am, you may be also. And he said, and you know the way to where I'm going. And Thomas said to him, and Brother Jeff read this, said, Lord, we don't know where you're going. How can we know the way? And Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you had known me, you would have known my Father also. From now on, you do know him, and you've seen him. And he was talking about himself. Jesus saying, from now on, you know you're going to be with the Father in the Father's house because you've seen the Father, because Jesus and the Father are one. So family, I want you to know, funerals, memorial services, they're not for the dead. They're for the living.
Funerals, and my colleagues sometimes say, oh no, they'll think that you're preaching about so-and-so because he's a prodigal. Well, I'm not preaching about the prodigal son. What I'm telling you about is what Phil Wahlberg first preached to me, and that is about a prodigal God.
I'm not going to make a lot of money right now in what I do, so I don't get to build a big house, and some of you I know probably don't want to live with me, and that's cool. All right? But there's a house that's being built still to this day that Uncle Butch, who gave his life to Christ, is there cooking biscuits and gravy for some cool folks. But for you and for me and for the ones here who are left, I want you to know, I want you to go there. And it doesn't matter what you've done. The grace of God can extend further to you, just like it's been extended to me. But you can't go there unless you know the Father. And you can't know the Father unless you know the Son. And the Son is Jesus Christ. So it doesn't matter how much you love Uncle Butch. It doesn't matter how much you love Papa and Grandma. It doesn't matter how much you love me. It doesn't matter how much you love anybody. It matters how much you love Jesus. And if you believe he died on the cross and rose from the dead, and you give your life to him, Romans 10 says that if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart God raised from the dead, you'll be saved. And I want you to know that. I'm going to sing a song that talks just about that called Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now